Howdy, folks. Rebecca Jolly here from Jolly Alchemy with today's neutrino forecast. Today we're talking about Monday, the 7th of July, 2025. And we have just moved into the cross of penetration, for which I have switched to my penetration scarf, see? And all right, so to begin, moving into the cross, we've moved out of the tension of the 3839, and now we're moving into the new beginnings. We've had our tension, we've had our upset, and now we're ready to look into something new. I'm certainly ready for something new. So, something new comes to us on the cross of penetration, and what makes penetration is on the other side of the cross, the other two arms of that are 51 and 57. So 51 is shock and 57 is intuition, to put it in the briefest possible terms. So if we're looking at keynoting, what we're talking about when we enter the cross of penetration is shocking intuitions about ambitious new beginnings. So it's a whole new energy. It's a whole new thing going on. Let's look at the lines that we have today. So today we have line 1 of 53. That's the new beginnings. And this is a format energy, which means it's a very powerful, moving and pushing energy that's coming out of the root. Here, let's see it. It's right there because I have it in my chart. That little blue dot right there is gate 53. So it's pulsing up out of the root with massive power in the logical circuit. So it's very set energy towards doing things over and over again and learning logical processes from them. In fact, Ross said that animals have the capacity to have this, and when you have a dog, if you happen to know your dog's wiring, if you have a dog that has the 53rd gate, then it's definitely a bad idea to chain that dog, because that dog is always going to need freedom. It's going to need the ability to move about. It's going to wither, basically, if it's chained, because you're keeping it from its real purpose, which is to explore, to look for new beginnings. Which brings me to our song of today. Another early, it showed up very early when I was writing down the transit, and that is Hot Knife by Fiona Apple. And when I first heard it, I thought, okay, she's obviously wanting to get some, but it's very much, when Ra talks about the cross of penetration, he gives the specific example of, okay, so how this could work is somebody's in a relationship. It's a good relationship. There's nothing wrong with the relationship, but they feel this intense energy in them to look for something new, to have something new. And these people are always going to be doing a little bit of that energy. I myself definitely feel that energy because I have that 53 in my chart, that desire to push into something new. And also, as it turns out, to have the ambition on the other side, the marrying maiden, the desire to really push and move forward into something, not only a new beginning, but a new beginning that will hopefully attract the attention of authorities, people in positions of power, so that it can help that person to rise up and fulfill their ambition. So, yeah, it's a cute song by Fiona. It's very penetrating. It's got all this dissonance, this, but then it comes together, and it's so have fun listening to that song. Our Earth is in 54-1. That's influence through secret relationships. So it's about that little whispering on the side that the marrying maiden does in order to rise up in the hierarchy to achieve a leadership position. Our moon, as I said yesterday, has moved into 34-1. It was at 34-1 at the end of yesterday, and it's still at the beginning of the day in 34-1 here. So, 34-1. And that one's about power, 34, and then we'll be moving to 9 and then 5. 9 is a small taming power and one of the attention to detail gates, and 5 is the gate of rhythm, habits, rituals, all that sort of thing. That's the one I had the huge problem with. So 34-1 to start today's cycle is intimidation, to display power as a response to frustration. So be aware of that. There's a little bit of intimidating energy going on today, but it will quickly move out of that. 33-4, dignity. That's what we're having in Mercury. Up from 33-3 yesterday. Now it's going to have more of an interpersonal quality. It's dignified retreat for regeneration. I actually have this in my chart. That's up here at the top, right here, coming out of the throat and leading towards the G center. And that dignified retreat, what it has to do with other people is it's dignified retreat so that you can come back with dignity and be interpersonal again. That's what's going on there. And let's see, Venus is moving into 20, line 3. I'm always a little bit thrilled whenever a 20th gate activation comes into the transit, because as you see, I have 3 of the 4 gates in the circuit of integration, and that 20 completes my circuitry there. So I feel complete and whole in a way that I don't really in other ways, even though I am a single definition. So I definitely feel the influence of the 20. I knew the 20 was coming, and when I was doing this transit, I thought, oh boy, I can't wait for that energy. I feel like it's already here. I looked back, it had just started. I was like, yes, indeed, there it is, the 20. So in this one, line 3 is self-consciousness, self-conscious analytical perception. So that 20 is definitely doing things in the now, and in this case, it's looking at itself in the now. This is our energy for today. There was something else that I wanted to say. I can't remember what it is, so I'll either say it later or we'll get to it. Oh, yes, I remember what I wanted to say, and that is that you may have seen me, if you've been watching my transits, make mistakes sometimes. Just so that you know, I am a 3rd line profile, so I am going to be making the occasional mistake. Now, I will always, come in and say, oh, okay, here was my, mistake, a little da-da-da-da-da-da. But you've got to know I value authenticity way more than production value. So rather than go in and edit out a mistake and make it seem like I'm perfect in my presentations, I don't really care about that. What I care much more about is being me with you. And so me sometimes forgets the name of something, forgets, what was the left and the right, and blah, blah, blah. Speaking of which, it's the left. Shiza, I forgot it again. I actually looked it up again, too. Oh, no, I have it right here, actually. Let me figure that out. Golly, the difference between a left angle and a right angle. I know it, but it's just always getting mixed up in my head. So once and for all, just in case you were curious, it's the left angle crosses that are the transpersonal ones, and there's only 2 of them in a year. It's the right angle crosses that are much more personally focused. So you have the right angles, and I'll get into explaining that more later. It's not important right now. This is just a detail. But for those of you who are looking for human design information and having a difficult time finding it, this is a little piece of trivia that you might not have known yet. So right angles are here in the world. They're bringing karma into the world in what they're doing because they're exploring their own issues. Whereas the left angles are much more about resolving karma, doing interpersonal things. They're showing up with people who are on their fractal. So they're having things to do with people that they've known for a long, long time. They're coming into the earth with more memories. These are the children that speak about their previous lives because when they're really, really young, they can't sometimes remember them. Whereas people on the right angles, like me, the cross of explanation, I came in with nothing because I'm here to figure out something specific here without any influence of other lives and other energies on a more, it's bigger than global. It's It's the whole history of humanity, sort of an access to that, or an access to wisdom that we had gained in previous lifetimes. So, there's that. And authenticity over perfection of production. That's what I wanted to say. So, I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of, um, re uh, re-recording of my transits. I really want these transits to be just me, my reactions in the moment. If I record it over and over again, then it starts to get plasticized, it starts to get homogenized, and I'm not about that, especially in the individuality of my explanation. The second time I explain it, it's just not going to come out the same. And I want that sort of a raw, real, authentic quality. So just be aware, my transits aren't going to be perfect, and I'm okay with that because we learn from our imperfections. I learn very much from my mistakes. I'm finally starting to claim that mistake making ability, that martyr capacity of mine, and you get to come along the ride. So, welcome, have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.